The world outside is loud, fast, and unpredictable. We often find ourselves swept into its current, a non-stop stream of opinions, demands, responsibilities, and distractions. But the real battleground of chaos isn't out there, it's within. The true noise is not what happens around you, but how you interpret it, and that interpretation is shaped by one powerful force, your inner narrative. Your thoughts are not harmless. They build stories about who you are, what you're capable of, and how the world works. Left unchecked, these stories can become toxic scripts. Scripts like "I'm not good enough," "this will never get better," or "I can't handle this." These aren't just thoughts. They are instructions to your nervous system. And when you believe them, your mind spirals, your heart races, your decisions become reactive. Suddenly, the chaos outside has become chaos inside. To find calm, you must start by confronting that voice. Not with anger, but with awareness. Observe the language you use when speaking to yourself. Are your words filled with panic or with purpose? Do you default to worst-case scenarios or possibilities? This kind of awareness is not automatic. It is trained through effort, and it begins by understanding that your mind is not a mirror. It doesn't just reflect the world, it interprets it, which means you have the power to influence your own perception. Reframing your inner dialogue doesn't mean denying reality. It means refusing to surrender to a version of reality that makes you powerless. For example, instead of saying "I can't do this," try "I'm learning how to handle this." Instead of "everything is falling apart," try "this is a hard moment, but not a permanent one." These are not empty affirmations, they are cognitive shifts, small strategic changes in language that help your brain regulate emotion, restore focus, and make better choices. This internal reframing is a skill anyone can learn. It's not about pretending things are okay. It's about reminding yourself that you are more than what's happening to you. It's the mental discipline to slow down, question your first reaction, and choose a second one. Over time, this reshapes your mental environment. You begin to recognize the space between stimulus and response. And in that space, calm is possible. You may not always control the chaos that comes at you, but you can always choose how to meet it. That choice begins with your internal script. The more you practice changing it, the more you realize that calm isn't a gift granted by the outside world. It's a product of the stories you choose to believe and the ones you decide to rewrite. Chaos thrives in disorder. When life feels like it's spiraling out of control, our natural instinct is to panic, freeze, or react impulsively. But the truth is, even in the most unstable moments, stability is not out of reach. It just needs to be built. And the most powerful tool for building that stability is structure. Not rigid, overwhelming structure, but a simple, intentional framework that gives your mind something to hold on to when everything else feels uncertain. Structure is not just about organization, it's about safety. The human brain craves predictability. It seeks patterns, routines, and anchors, not because life is always predictable, but because structure creates a sense of control. When you wake up and know what comes next, even in small ways, your brain conserves energy. It stops bracing for the unknown and starts engaging with the present. A predictable routine becomes a psychological refuge, a quiet corner in the storm. Start small. You don't need to design the perfect schedule or plan every hour. You simply need consistent markers in your day. Waking up at the same time, making your bed, taking 10 minutes to journal or breathe. These may seem insignificant, but they create rhythm, and rhythm reduces mental clutter. Instead of waking up into chaos, you wake up into intention. You signal to your mind, "This day may be unpredictable, but I have a foundation." In times of crisis, routines become even more essential. Think of emergency responders, athletes, astronauts. They all rely on trained routines in high-stress environments. Because routines reduce emotional noise, they automate certain decisions, freeing up mental bandwidth for focus, clarity, and creativity. You can adopt the same approach. When everything feels like it's moving too fast, let your routine slow you down and remind you who's in control. Structure is also a form of self-respect. It says, my time, my energy, and my peace matter. It doesn't mean you won't be flexible. It means you know your non-negotiables, the habits, practices, and boundaries that keep you centered. Maybe it's your daily walk. Maybe it's a block of time without screens. Maybe it's a nighttime routine that signals your body it's time to rest. These aren't luxuries. They are tools of survival and growth. The world may not give you structure, but you can give it to yourself. And once you do, the chaos becomes more manageable. You'll begin to notice that your day has shape, your thoughts have clarity, and your actions have direction. Structure doesn't eliminate uncertainty, but it gives you a stable platform from which to face it. It transforms you from someone who reacts to the storm into someone who can stand calmly within it. That's the power of building stability, not around you, but within you. Calm is often misunderstood. Many believe it's something you find when everything finally settles down, when the noise fades, the problems disappear, and life feels easier. But waiting for the world to become quiet before you can find peace is like waiting for the ocean to stop moving before you learn to swim. The truth is, calm isn't a place you escape to. It's a skill you carry with you, and it's developed in the very heart of the chaos itself. Stillness is not passivity. It's not disengagement or apathy. It is a trained response, a conscious decision to meet intensity without adding more intensity to it. Think of the eye of a storm, calm, steady, unshaken, even while winds rage around it. That kind of calm is not natural. It's cultivated, and like any skill, it takes practice, patience, and commitment. Start with your breath. It's the one tool you always have access to. In stressful situations, your body's fight or flight response takes over, speeding up your heart, shortening your breath, clouding your judgment. But when you deliberately slow your breathing, deep in, slow out, you send a message to your nervous system. We are safe. We are in control. This small act can interrupt panic and return you to presence. Over time, it becomes instinct, a trained reflex, rather than a forced effort. Mindfulness is another way to train calm, not just as meditation, but as a way of noticing. Notice when your thoughts race. Notice when your jaw tenses or your shoulders rise. Notice when your mind jumps to worst-case scenarios. Awareness gives you space, and in that space you have a choice. You can continue spiraling, or you can ground yourself in what is real, right now. The present moment is never as overwhelming as the imagined future. Calm lives in that present. Reflection also builds stillness. Taking time, even just 5 minutes a day, to ask yourself what you're feeling, what triggered it, and what you can control. This mental clarity doesn't erase problems, but it stops you from becoming consumed by them. You begin to separate what is happening from what you assume is happening. That separation is powerful. It gives you back agency. Remember, calm does not mean you're unaffected. It means you're choosing your response. It means that even when everything around you is uncertain, you don't have to match the chaos with your own. You become the person who can walk into a stressful room and bring the temperature down, not by force, but by presence, by being steady. This is the work, and it's not easy, but it's worth it, because in a world that profits off panic, rush, and noise, your ability to remain calm becomes a quiet rebellion. It becomes a superpower, and best of all, it's one you build, not when life is easy, but when life gives you every reason not to. In the end, chaos is not the enemy. avoidance is. The world will continue to move fast. People will continue to disappoint, and situations will often fall out of your control. But within all of that, there is a place you can return to. Not out there, but within you. You've learned that calm isn't something you wait for. It's something you practice. You've seen that the narrative in your mind can either escalate the storm or anchor you through it. That structure isn't confinement, it's free. And that stillness isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, choice by choice, breath by breath. So when the noise rises, don't match it. When the pressure builds, don't collapse under it. Return to your breath, return to your rhythm, return to your reason. Because the world doesn't need more people who can shout louder. It needs more people who can stand still with strength, who can listen with clarity, who can lead from calm. Let others be frantic. Let others chase noise. You've learned a different way, not by escaping chaos, but by becoming the kind of person who can walk through it and remain whole. Because your calm is not weakness, it's not silence, it's mastery, and it's yours to claim.